Imagine standing on the edge of a cliff, peering over the brink. Your heart races, your palms sweat, and your mind screams at you to step back. That, my friends, is fear. Now let's take a step back in time. Picture our ancestors, the early humans, living in a world filled with predators. The growl of a saber-toothed tiger in the distance would send a shiver down their spines, their hearts would pound, their bodies would tense. This fear, this primal reaction is what kept them alive. It's what pushed them to climb trees, to build fires, to form tribes. Fear was their guide, their guard, their survival mechanism. It's a powerful force, isn't it? Fear, in its essence, is hardwired into our very beings, a biological response designed to help us avoid danger and stay alive. Fear, then, is not our enemy. It is a tool, a survival mechanism. But what happens when this tool starts to control us? In the modern world, we rarely face physical predators. Instead, we face psychological ones. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of change. These fears, they're not lions or tigers, but they can be just as paralyzing. Take, for instance, the fear of public speaking, a common fear that can hold us back from expressing our thoughts, our ideas, or even standing up for ourselves. Or consider the fear of starting a new business. This fear, often rooted in the fear of failure, can keep us tethered to jobs we don't love, or prevent us from pursuing our passions. And then there's the fear of change. This fear, perhaps the most insidious of all, can hold us back from growth, from new experiences, from the very evolution of our lives. These fears, while not life-threatening, can be life-limiting, but there is a way to overcome them. Change is the only constant in life, yet many of us fear it because it brings uncertainty and disrupts our comfort zone. But let's take a moment to see change from a different perspective. Imagine you're a caterpillar, cocooned in your comfort zone. You're safe, you're secure. But if you never embrace the change, you will never spread your wings as a butterfly, never taste the nectar of flowers, never experience the freedom of flight. Staying in the cocoon may be comfortable, but it's also limiting. The same applies to our lives. Change, my friends, is a catalyst for personal growth. It pushes us out of our comfort zones, challenges our preconceived notions, and encourages us to learn and evolve. For instance, changing jobs can be daunting. You're leaving a familiar environment for an unknown one. But it can also lead to new opportunities, learning new skills, meeting new people, and maybe even discovering passions you never knew you had. Moving to a new city is another example. Yes, it's scary to leave behind everything you know, but think about the new experiences waiting for you, the new friends you'll make, the new places you'll explore, and the new stories you'll create. Each change, each new experience adds a chapter to the book of your life. Starting a new relationship too can be a whirlwind of emotions. There's excitement and joy, but there's also fear. Fear of the unknown, fear of getting hurt. But by embracing this change, you open yourself up to love, to companionship, to shared laughter and tears. And these shared moments, these connections, they're what make life truly worth living. Embracing change also builds resilience. The more changes we face and navigate through, the stronger we become. Each change is a stepping stone, building our strength and resilience for future challenges. Embracing change does not mean ignoring fear. It means acknowledging it and then deciding to move forward anyway. So, let's take that step forward. Let's embrace the change. Let's wave goodbye to the caterpillar and welcome the butterfly. Because in the grand journey of life, change isn't just constant, it's essential. Overcoming fear is not about becoming fearless, it's about learning to act despite fear. So, how do we turn this theory into reality? How do we overcome the fear that holds us back? Let's delve into it. Firstly, acknowledge your fear. It's okay to be afraid. Fear is a natural human response to uncertainty and potential danger. It's a survival mechanism, but it's important to recognize it for what it is, a feeling, not a fact. Think about Thomas Edison, who failed thousands of times before inventing the light bulb. He acknowledged his fear of failure but didn't let it deter him. Next, try reframing your fear as excitement. Fear and excitement are two sides of the same coin, both are responses to the unknown. The difference lies in our perception. Consider public speakers who get nervous before going on stage. Many of them reframe their fear into excitement about the opportunity to share their message. This simple shift in perspective can make a world of difference. Then take small steps. You don't have to conquer your fear all at once. If you're afraid of heights, start by climbing a small hill before you tackle a mountain. Sir Edmund Hillary didn't scale Everest in his first climbing attempt. It was the culmination of many small steps, each one a victory over fear. Finally, celebrate your victories, no matter how small. Each time you act despite your fear, you're proving to yourself that you can do it. J.K. Rowling, before she became the famous author of the Harry Potter series, was a single mother living on welfare. She feared rejection, but each time she received a rejection letter and kept writing, she was celebrating a small victory against fear. Remember, every person you admire has faced and overcome fear. You can too. Fear is not a barrier, it's a stepping stone. It's a catalyst for growth and a tool for building resilience. So embrace your fear, take that first step, and watch as your world expands. After all, as the saying goes, the only thing we have to fear is fear itself. And even that, we can overcome. Fear is a part of life, but it doesn't have to control your life. You have the power to overcome fear and embrace change. Let's take a moment to reflect on what we've explored today. We've delved into the depths of fear, its power and its prominent role in our modern times. We've acknowledged its presence but also recognized our ability to rise above it. We've also gleefully welcomed the concept of change. Remember, embracing change is not about running headfirst into the unknown, but rather about adapting, evolving, and growing. It's about stepping out of our comfort zones and stepping into a world of endless possibilities. And let's not forget the most important part. We've learned how to overcome fear, to stand up to it, to face it, and to conquer it. Remember, fear is a challenge, not a barrier. It's a test of our courage, not a measure of our weakness. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe to our channel for more empowering content. Together we can conquer the cliffs of fear and embrace the winds of change.